Hi, my name is Sasha Grossman, and these are my reflections from my leadership interview with Professor Donna Wertalik, who is the head of PRISM, which is a marketing organization at Virginia Tech. So I selected Professor Wertalik to interview because I'm very interested in PRISM. I have a lot of friends who are involved in this organization, and I think that it would be a very valuable learning experience for me to interview a woman in leadership and a woman as the head of an organization, as I aspire to be a woman in leadership and try and break that glass ceiling. What I learned from her is that she's the first assistant professor in the marketing department at Virginia Tech, and after reading a bit about her, I was very interested in interviewing her because she is very passionate about so many different things on campus, and that is and was reflected in my interview with her. So my perceptions of her persona and how she sort of interacted with me during the interview was that she is the embodiment and kind of exemplification of what an empowered woman is to me. She's used her skill set and determination to sort of pioneer this organization that's about ambition, drive, passion within the marketing department at Virginia Tech. I felt so incredibly engaged with her during this conversation because she was just very lively, very excited, very happy to speak with me, and I really value that in a conversation. So it was kind of excitement from the start. And I think that the best way I can describe her is that she has an amazing ability to light up any room and challenge those gender stereotypes of women in leadership. And then I asked her, what are some of the key leadership characteristics that she tries to embody in her own leadership style and that she looks for when recruiting students to join her marketing organization? And those would be drive, compassion, and agility. Agility was something I hadn't really thought of prior to thinking about important leadership characteristics, but she sort of explained the importance of trying to push yourself, and with that, pushing others and inspiring other people, but you have to know yourself. And that sort of made me think about the social change model in regards to congruence and being conscientious, knowing yourself, knowing your values, and knowing how to inspire others so that you can find that common mission and common value. So after the interview, my perceptions of Professor Wertalik as a leader is that she is an amazing woman who I actually share some similar values with, which was really fun to discuss. We bonded over a few things, like our families are both from New York. We both were pledge moms of our sororities, which pretty much means we value mentorship and value connections with our followers per se. I think that she is incredibly admirable, determined, driven, not only for her PRISM students, but for Virginia Tech students in general, and overall women in leadership. Some key statements that were made by Professor Wertalik that kind of aided in my understanding of leadership and how to be a good leader was the importance of working hard. We discussed a lot how when recruiting students for PRISM, what are things that you look for that you can't teach? And one of those would be work ethic. You can't teach work ethic, you can't teach drive, and that's something that she really scouts for when recruiting students to join her organization. And not only that, but being passionate, loving what you're doing and doing it for the purpose of improving yourself and those around you. And it made me think of our discussion on the importance of having common goals. Once again, impressed by people's work ethic and drive. She also touched upon self-awareness, as I mentioned earlier, which, made me think about how does being self-aware and knowing oneself and taking the time to learn about your values and skill sets contribute and aid to the group growth of your organization. I think that overall, she is a leader that inspired me to join PRISM, and that was something I found through her excitement, her passion, and overall engagement with me in this conversation. And I think that, especially in leadership, when you find something that you love, and she was fortunate to have always, known that marketing and engaging with other students at Virginia Tech and on our campus in general is something that she cares about, has really contributed to the absolute success of PRISM. And I think that, she is truly the embodiment of an empowered woman who works so hard to empower those around her. I really enjoyed this conversation with her, and she is a wonderful example of a leader. So overall, my interview with her was absolutely wonderful and a really valuable learning experience for me. And I definitely can say that a main takeaway was, look for things that excite you and give you passion. So thank you to Professor Wertalik, and thank you, Dr. C.